for this project, you're going to need your J hook or 6mm crochet hook. You're also going to need a pair of scissors and your tapestry needle. And we're going to be using white as well as a pink yarn for this purse. So here's an example of the purse that I made in the different colors, but this time I'm going to use pink so it'll match the chihuahua that I had made. So you can go ahead and put that aside, and then we're going to go ahead and start with the pink. And with the pink yarn, you're going to go ahead and do your slip stitch, and how I do that is I just cross over the yarn like that, and then I hold it with my middle finger and my thumb, and then I just yarn over and pull it through, and you just make your knot that way. It's easy. And now you're going to make single chains for the length of the purse that you want. So 1 single chain, 2 single chains, 3. Now I'm just going to go fast so you can just went slow so you can see how I'm doing it. So I'm just doing single chains for the length of the purse. Keep checking to see, make sure you have a length that you want. And I'm going to do mine about the same size because I like the way that came out. So for that one I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So I did 28 stitches, single chains. So now what you're going to do is you're going to chain 3 because we're going to do double chains for this pattern. So go ahead and hold your finger over your last stitch and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That'll be your first double chain. Then you're going to yarn over and you're going to go into the back loop of the single chain, your last single chain that you did. So you can see here you have a front loop and then you have a back loop. Here's the front loop and then there's the back loop. So we're going to go into the back loop. You can see I'm going into the center, just grabbing that back loop, yarn over, and then you have 3 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over, go through 2, and then yarn over and go through the last 2. So you just did 2 double chains. So now we're going to yarn over, and then you're going to go into the front loop. So here you can see you have the front loop and the back loop. We're going to go into the front loop. And then you're going to yarn over, and then you're going to go through 2, and then yarn over and go through the last 2. So now you have 3 double chains, 1 that went in the back loop, and then 1 that went in the front loop. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way across. So I'll do a couple more for you so you can see how I do it. So yarn over, and then you're going to go into the back loop, yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over, last 2, yarn over. Now you're going to go into the front loop, and then you're going to yarn over, and then you're going to go into the back loop. Yarn over, And then you're going to yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. So it makes a nice, pretty pattern here. So you go front loop, back loop. You're going to do that all the way across, and then come back, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so we're back, and you can see the beautiful pattern it's creating, and we're making the same pattern that I did for the blue purse, and I really like that color too, but I'm making the pink one to match the pink chihuahua this time. So now you want to go up and start on your second row. So in order to do that, you just take and chain 3. So you just yarn over, pull through 1, 2, and 3. So that's your first double chain or double crochet for the next row. Go ahead and turn over your work. And now you're going to do the same thing. You can see on the stitches that you have a front and you also have a back. So we're going to alternate. We're going to start with the back. So you're going to go ahead and yarn over. And then in the next stitch, you're going to go in the center and go into that back loop only. Yarn over and pull up. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. And yarn over and pull through 2. So we just did 2 double chains and 1 in the back loop. So now we're going to do 1 in the front loop. So yarn over, and then you're going to go into that front loop. So you can see I went in the middle of the stitch into the front loop, yarn over, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through the next 2. And that's your next double crochet. So we have 3 double crochets. So I'm going to do a couple more for you. You're going to keep alternating this pattern all the way across. And you can see the stitch here. Each of the stitches, you see the front. Actually, that's the back. And then you have the front. We just went into the back. Now we're going to go into the front, and then the back, and then in the front. So I'll do a few more slow ones, and then I'll let you go ahead and finish. Go ahead and yarn over, and now we're going to go into the back. Yarn over, and then when you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and then pull through 2. So now we're going to go into the front loop. So yarn over, go through the front. Now we're going to go through the back, so yarn over. So you're going to repeat that pattern, and you're going to go all the way to the end. Then you're going to chain 3 and turn and do the same thing again. And you're going to make 8 rows of this pattern, and then come back and I'll show you. After you do finish the 8th row, I'll show you what to do for the next part. Okay, so you should have finished 8 rows of the double crochet, and your work should look like this. We're going to go ahead and finish off. So go ahead and take your yarn over and pull through the hoop on your hook, and then just leave a small tail. So now you should go ahead and make another one, as you're going to need 2 of them for your purse. And come back, and then we'll go to the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the next part of the pattern. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the side of the purse. So here's the front, and then there's a strip that goes down the side and the bottom and the other side of the purse. And so for the width of this purse, I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across. So we're going to make 8 across because I like the way this one came out. So go ahead and take the color of your yarn, and we're going to do a slip stitch. going to make 8 single chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 8 single chains. Now you're going to hold with your thumb and your forefinger, your middle finger I mean, just hold right there because that's going to be your stitch that you need to go into. So you hold that and you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be your first double chain. Now you're going to yarn over and you're going to go into the back loop. So you can see the stitch that you were holding. You're going to go right in the center. You're going to go into the back loop. You're going to yarn over. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. So now you have 2 double chains, or double crochets. So now you're going to go ahead and yarn over, and you're going to go through the front loop. Yarn over, pull up, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. So now you have 3 double crochets. The second one is in the back loop and the third one is in the front loop. So now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing all the way across, just like you did for the front and are going to do for the back of your purse. And we're going to do the same pattern all the way across, and then we're going to chain 3, turn over, and keep going. You're doing this through the same rows until you have the length of your purse. So go ahead and do 8 rows of this and then come back and then I'll show you how it's looking. Okay, so your pattern should be looking like this. And what we're going to be doing is it's going to be sewed in between the front and the back like that. So you're going to have to make sure that when you're done with your length, it has to measure all the way around the purse. So keep on doing the same pattern until you've reached all the way around the purse, and then come back and then I'll show you how to sew it onto your purse. Okay, so you should finish your strip. And to make sure that you have your strip big enough, you can go ahead and measure it around your bag. So here, you can measure the side just like that, and then you can mark from there, just kind of flip your bag just like that. And then just flip your bag again, and you can see it fits nicely. So now you can go ahead and take your work and finish off. And how you're going to do that is you're going to yarn over, just pull the yarn through, and then just cut a big enough piece of yarn that you can bury into your work. And now we're going to crochet the bag onto the strip. So you're going to need your tapestry needle, and we're going to cut off, oh, actually you're not going to need your tapestry needle, we're going to crochet the end onto the strip. And so what we're going to do first is just tie a knot with your 2 loose ends that you have here. You're going to hold the 2 pieces together like that. And then you're going to take your crochet hook, and again I'm using the J hook. You're going to go in between both pieces in that first stitch, just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and take your yarn and hook it through, and leave enough end on the yarn that you hooked through to tie a knot. And we're going to do a single chain, and then you're going to turn over the work, and you just need to tie a knot on the back with the 2 strands. You're going to hold the work together again, and we're going to bury these two strands into your work. So you're going to go ahead, actually I have 3 strands here that we're going to bury. So we're going to do a single stitch, single chain in the same stitch, and you're going to single chain one more time, so a chain 2, and we're going to do a half double crochet into each stitch down the side of the purse. So go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up, and then you're going to have 3 loops on the hook. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through, and that will count as your second half double crochet, the first one and the second one. Now it's kind of hard, you can see that you can't see the stitches as well from this side view, but that's okay. Just go in as best as you can approximate and make your half double crochets all the way down the edge. And we can go ahead and see how we're burying the loose strands there. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, and half double crochet. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, and then go through all 3 hoops on the hook. And we can go ahead and cut these loose strands now, they're getting in the way. And they're buried enough, we can't see them. And you're just going to keep on doing the half double crochet all the way down the side of the purse. And then when you get to this end, you're going to turn the work and line up the work this way, and you're just going to do half double crochets. Now in the corner stitch, we'll go ahead and do 3 half double crochets in the same stitch, and then we're going to go over to the next stitch over and half double crochet. So go ahead and work your half double crochets all along the bottom of the purse, and then come back and I'll show you how to turn and go up the last side of the purse. Okay, so we've reached the end, so we're going to go ahead and turn the work, and if you notice that you have a little bit more length, you can go ahead and bunch it to make it fit, just like that. And we're going to bury this loose strand here into the work. Now at the corner, go ahead and do 3 double crochet into the corner. One, 2, 3, and we're going to go ahead and bunch up the work to make sure that it's even with the end. And go ahead and yarn over and double crochet across to the end. And when you've reached the end, make sure that you're holding the work as you go, where you won't end up with too much on the end. And double crochet in. See how I'm keeping it lined up. And just keep on double crocheting all the way down to the end, and then come back and I'll show you how to do the next step. Alright, I'm reaching towards the end. I'm going to do my last couple half double crochets. And then I'm going to finish off. So I'm going to yarn over, pull the yarn through the hook, and just leave a long enough tail for sewing into the work. And as you can see, you have your side strap on the purse. So now we're going to go ahead and put the other side. This is how this side looks. Now we want to let's see if I can get this to line up. Yeah, I'll go like that. And then you can take these two ends and then just tie a knot to keep it secure. And then you're going to line up this side like this. Take your hook, go into the first stitch on the side. You're going to draw your yarn through. And do a single chain. Set your work down a minute and then just tie a quick knot on the back. And then we're going to take all three of these loose strands and we're going to sew them into our work. Anytime you have the opportunity to do that, it always helps, so you don't have to sew in as many towards the end of the project. So go ahead and yarn over, and then you're going to make sure that your work is lined up, and then you want to grab these three strands to keep them in the middle, and then come up with your hook, yarn over, and then you have three loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all three, and then you're just going to keep on doing half double crochets, keeping those loose strands in the middle, and go all the way down the side. Make sure I don't lose that third one. There it is. And that's buried enough, so you can go ahead and cut those strands so they're not in your way. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead, finish doing the half double crochets all the way down, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets in the corner, and then you're going to line up and do double crochets all the way down that end, and then back up, 3 double crochets in the corner, and then all the way up. And when you're done, come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should have finished doing your double crochets all around the side of your purse. We're going to go ahead and finish off. Go ahead and yarn over, pull through enough that we can sew into the project. And you have your purse with the side, this is the front, in the back, and then we have the side sewn in. So now we're going to work on the straps to the purse. They're going to look like this, except ours is going to be pink and white. So go ahead and take both of your yarn ends and hold them together like this. And for this strap, I had done 1, 2, 3, 4 across. Actually, it looks like I did 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do about 5 across for this one. So once you have it together, we're going to do our slip stitch. So I usually just loop it like this. You can see how I looped it across. Put your hook in. Hold it with your thumb, middle finger, yarn over, pull it through, pull tight, and there is your slip knot. Okay. So now I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have your 5 single chains. So now you're going to hold on to your 5th single chain with your middle finger and thumb, because that's the stitch that you're going to go into. So you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to do double crochet into the 4th single chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is where I have my thumb. Because this chain 3 that I did here is your first double crochet. So go ahead and yarn over, go into the stitch that you were holding, yarn over. Now you have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through, go ahead and pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the next 2. So now you have 2 double chains completed. So we're going to do double crochets all the way across. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, actually it's 4, yarn over and then pull through the last 2 or 4. And I'm just going to count these 2 strands as 1. That way it'll be less confusing. So you're going to go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through the last 2. So now you have 4 double chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do 2 more. Yarn over, go through the last one, and that's how your work is looking right now. It's looking really pretty marble, pink and white. Now that you're on the end, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to turn your work. And then you're going to yarn over, and then you're going to go into the next stitch over. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And you can see how I turned. So you're going to go ahead and do a double crochet all the way across, 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So double crochet 1. I'm going to help you turn one more time. 2, 3, and then your 4th one. can see how your edges are nice and straight, and that's how you want to keep your work. So you're going to go ahead and chain 3 again. 1, 2, and 3. You're going to turn your work, and you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go into your next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you have 2 double chains done. So you're going to go ahead and do 4 more double chains, chain 3, and then turn. You're going to repeat this, and you're going to do this for however long you want your straps. So here you can see how long this strap is for this purse. So on this one I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, about, I'll go ahead and do 20. 20 rows would be nice for the strap. So go ahead and finish 20 rows and make 2 of these, and then come back, and then I'll show you how to put it on your purse. Okay, so you should have made 2 straps. I ended up doing about 14 rows instead, because getting low on yarn, and also it already was about the size that I wanted. So I think that with my other, when I did this project, I might have done a half double crochet or used a different size hook, but it still looks beautiful. So now what we're going to do after you have 2 of them is we're going to go ahead and finish off. So go ahead and yarn over and pull your yarn through and leave enough to sew into your project. Now the first thing that you're going to do is just take your tapestry needle, and you're just going to sew in your yarn ends. Into your work. Anywhere, just take the tapestry needle and just weave the loose end into your work. And then take your scissors and just cut it. So go ahead, weave in all the loose ends on your straps, and then come back, and then we'll sew the straps on the purse. Okay, so you should have sewed in all your loose ends, and you can go ahead and sew your loose ends too that were on your purse. And I think I have one left on the inside here. Just weave in to your work. Make sure you have your purse the right side out. And now we're going to go ahead and put our straps on. So go ahead and get your yarn color, and I'm using pink, the same color as the purse. And take your tapestry needle, and how you want to do it is make sure that the strap is so you can carry it like that. So with the strap about that far in on the purse, you want to go ahead from the inside, sew the strap to the purse, leave enough on the other side to sew a knot, and also thread that end into the purse. And the way I want to sew this is I'm going to go down and then across and then back up and across, just to make a rectangle sewing it on, and that just helps to make it more secure. And you can see how I'm sewing it on. And like I said, just sew across and then back up, sew across, and then turn your work over and tie a knot. And then sew your strap on the same way on the other side and come back. And then I'll show you the next step. So your straps should be on your purse now, and this is how the purse looks with the straps sewn on, and on the inside you can see all the strands have been sewed into the project and you can't see any of them. So now we're going to make the flower that's also going to serve as the button, and go right here. So you can go ahead and put the purse to the side, and I'm going to make a white flower. So first what we're going to do is do our slip knot, and how I do that again is just cross it over into a loop, put your hook in, yarn over and pull through, and that's your slip knot. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to do a slip stitch into the first single chain that we did. So go into the first single chain, and then you're going to yarn over, and you're going to bring through both loops on the hook, and then you create your circle that we're going to be working in. First thing you're going to do is do a chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to single chain into the center of the circle. You go into the center of the circle, yarn over, pull up the 2 loops, yarn over, and you have your single chain. So we're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and then single chain into the center of the circle, and we're going to do that 5 times. So that's 2, 1, 2, 3, that's 3, 1, 2, 3, and single chain in the center, that's 4, and then 1, 2, 3, single chain into the center, and you can move the loops over too. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to slip stitch into that first single chain that we made, and then yarn over, and then bring through both loops on the hook, and that's your slip stitch. Now we're going to slip stitch into this first loop that we chain 3 loop that we made, and through both. So that's a slip stitch, and then go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's your first double chain into that first chain 3 loop. So we're going to do 5 double chains total into this chain 3 loop. So that's 1, yarn over, go into that chain 3 loop, yarn over, and you have 3 on your loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and that's your second double chain. That's 3, 4, and 5. So you have 5 double chains in that first chain 3 loop. Now we're going to slip stitch into the next chain 3 loop, go into the next chain 3 loop, yarn over, and pull through the loop on your hook. Now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do 5 double chains into the same chain 3 loops. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 double chains into the same chain 3 loop. Now we're going to slip stitch into the next loop. Same thing, we're going to repeat this pattern all the way around the circle. So now we're going into the next chain 3 loop. So you can see we already have 2 petals, and we're going to have 5 by the time we're done. So we're going to go ahead and chain 3 and do 5 double chains into this chain 3 loop, and I want you to repeat all the way back up to the beginning and then come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay. I just finished the last 5 double chains in the last loop, so now we're going to slip stitch back into the beginning stitch. So yarn over and then just pull through both loops on the hook. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go into, as you can see in the center of the flower, you have these spokes. So we're going to go around those spokes. So around the first spoke here, I'm going to go in between the 2 spokes. You can see how I went in between both spokes. Now you're going to yarn over and do a single chain. You have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2. Now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to go over to the next spoke. You're going to go around the back of the spoke. You're going to yarn over, pull the yarn behind the spoke, and then you're going to yarn over and go through both for a single chain. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to go to the next spoke, go behind it with your hook, yarn over, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through both hoops on the hook. Now chain 2, and then you're going to go to the next spoke, go behind it, yarn over, do a single chain, chain 2, here's another spoke, go behind it, do a hook, yarn over, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through, chain 2, and then we're going to do one more right where you started. There's another spoke, go behind it with your hook, yarn over, pull up, make a single chain, chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to slip stitch with your beginning stitch. Yarn over and pull through both. Now you're going to slip stitch into your first chain 2 space that you created. Slip stitch. Now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That's your first double chain in the first chain 2 space that we created. We're going to do 3 double chain total into each of the chain 2 spaces. So go ahead and yarn over, go into the chain 2 space, your second double crochet, yarn over, go through the chain 2 space, yarn over, 3 on the hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over and go through 2. So you have 3 double crochet in that first chain 2 space. Now go ahead and slip stitch into the next space, over, yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. You're going to do 2 more double crochets into the same space. And you have 2 inner petals. So now you're going to slip stitch into the next chain 2 space, and you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around. So chain 3, and then do 2 more double crochets into this spot, and then finish going all the way around, and then I'll show you what to do next. Just finished with my last petal, So you can see all the inner petals. We're going to slip stitch into our first single chain. Go into the first single chain, yarn over, and then pull through both loops on the hook, and then we're going to finish off, yarn over and pull through, and leave enough for sewing onto the project. And you can see your flower. You're going to sew it onto the purse. So whichever side you want for the front of your purse, we're going to go ahead and sew the smaller end in first. So go ahead and get your tapestry needle and thread the smaller portion on first. Go ahead and center your flower where you want it. It should be between the straps and towards the top. Once you know where you want it, take the smaller yarn and thread it through the front part of the purse. And then you can just make sure that your flower is centered how you want it. And then take your sewing portion of the yarn, thread that on, and we're going to go through the back portion of the petal like this for the beginning. And then we're going to go in through the bottom portion there. And then that hides the thread well within the flower. Now you're going to come in from the back. You can come in through the center with your tapestry needle. And then you're just going to sew all the way around the spokes only. So I'll do the first couple. You can see what I'm doing, and then I'll have you come back and I'll show you the next step. So keep sewing your flower on, and then come back, and then I'll show you the next and final step. Okay, the flower is sewn onto the purse. So now we're going to do the strap for closing the purse. And we're going to do that with the pink yarn, the same color as the purse. And you're going to go onto the back of the purse from the inside, right in the center between your strap. And you're going to use your hook and draw up your yarn and leave enough for sewing into the project. You're going to do a single chain, and then you just need to tie a knot on the back. And then we're just going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, do 14, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then go back to the same stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through both loops, then you're going to finish off. So yarn over, pull through, and leave enough to sew into your project. Pull it tight, and then go ahead and tie an extra knot into the back with your 2 strands, just to make sure it's really secure. And then go ahead and sew in the loose ends and sew them into the inside portion of the purse so they can't be seen, and then come back. So after you sewed in your loose ends, you have your little loop here that's to close the purse. You can go ahead and bring it through to the front, and then you just bring it around your flower, and it closes up the purse. So you're finished with your purse.